My ex-narc showed up at my house, and I'm scared I posted on here the night I left. So far, I'm a little over a month out. It was hard to leave, but I'm more glad than ever that I did. Having my own life and freedom again means the world to me. Unfortunately, he knows where I live. I live in a house with 5 housemates, and I'm good friends with them all. Well, this evening when I got back home from work, one of my housemates' girlfriend, who I'm also good friends with, told me he showed up at the house today asking for me. She felt the vibe and basically told him to fuck off. He left. All I can say is thank goodness I wasn't at home when that happened. My housemate who is dating her is a kind person, and he looked up my ex on FB and basically told him he will get his butt whooped if he shows up again. I'm grateful for the support system I have. After a month out, I was finally starting to feel safe again. For a few weeks after we broke up, I was scared to even open the front door because I was worried he'd be there. Now when I finally start to relax, he shows up. My brother looked him up on FB, I have him blocked, and he still has a picture of us as his profile picture. It just sucks having that safety shattered again. I'm so scared he will come again and try to hurt me or my dog or steal my things. I just wish he'd get it through his head that we are done, and I never want to see him or speak to him again. I don't know what to do. My anxiety is through the roof. He did it again, lost his mind over something stupid and hit me. It's been months since the last fight, but he went to bed early. I was watching a show. He texts, "Come up here." I texted, "What's wrong?" He texts again, "Come up here." I text, "What is going on?" He loses his mind, BC, I didn't come up. When I argued with him about why he couldn't answer me about why I needed to come up there, he grabbed me. I fell to the floor and he hit me in the mouth. I told him I was done. I almost left this summer, but he said he would get it together. Lies, all lies. But honestly, I can't afford to live on my own. I don't make enough. The house is mine from first marriage, so I could sell and rent something. I would need to sell my car too. I have 2 college-aged kids there. Dad pays for everything for them. But I would like to have space for them to stay with me. He has run up the balance on my credit card, saying he will pay it, but only makes the minimum payment, so the debt is still there. I knew better than to marry him, but I was so scared. Just like now. The night of our engagement, he lost his ID and held me up at the wall by my throat. I have wasted 16 years, 7 married of my 50-year life with an abusive man. I kept praying for it to stop. Maybe this strength is the answer to my prayer. No family in town and all my friends are his friends' wives. He said if I told anyone that he hits me, his words were, "Try to ruin him in this town, that he will come after me and kill me." I sent him an ultimatum, but I don't think it's going to do anything. I have brain damage from a stroke. I forget a lot of stuff and need to ask for confirmation a lot even though I'm in my 30s, and I get that it's stressful for my husband, so I try to be understanding when he's frustrated. We also have different native languages, and he gets mad when I make mistakes in his language, even though I've lived in the country for a while. In my defense, I study daily, so it's not like I'm not putting in effort. He calls me all sorts of names. Dumb, stupid, bitch, liar, ADHD. Not an insult in itself, but he definitely uses it as an insult. Retard, etc. Recently, I got a mental assessment done, and I was basically put on disability because I performed poorly on the cognitive tests. So now I get called all the same names as before, but he digs into it even deeper, calling me low IQ and telling me that I don't have the right to make decisions. Anything I say against him is me acting up. I am also bipolar, and before I was diagnosed, I would apparently keep my husband up all night on work nights, insisting he drink with me. This was 5+ years ago. I'm now stable and on medication. But for the past 3 to 4 years, he has been constantly forcing me to stay up 24+ hours and physically abusing me when I fall asleep. On top of physical abuse when I disagree with him, not only does he keep me up, but during this time he gets drunk and goes on for hours about how much he hates me, hates women, hates the left, etc., etc. If I don't agree enthusiastically with him, he physically hurts me. If I try to run away, he calls me abusive. If I hit back, he calls me abusive. Lately, after we go out, he will trap me when I'm in the bath and yell at me for 30 to 60 minutes about every mistake I made when we were out. Someone was walking behind you and trying to pass you, and you didn't notice. When you talked to me at the drugstore, you sounded really masculine. Stuff like that. Yesterday, we were supposed to do a lot of much-needed cleaning in the apartment. Instead, he wanted to go out to eat, and then come back to clean. We ended up staying out all day. Then he wanted to go to the pub, and then stay out later. Then we were going to go back home and sleep. But he changed his mind and ranted at me until 9 a.m., when he finally decided to let me sleep for an hour before I had to start getting ready for an appointment. I'm so tired. He is sleeping now, but I sent him an ultimatum that if he wants me to come home tonight, he has to tell me in text what he did wrong last night, this morning, and how he's going to fix it, and he has to promise not to drink until we finish cleaning the apartment. I'm currently forbidden from drinking because I went to the convenience store next door by myself and then accidentally buried my keys in my purse and thought I had lost them last time I was drunk. Physical and verbal abuse seems way worse to me. Honestly, I'm just expecting a lecture from him. Our wedding anniversary is next week, and I was honestly looking forward to it. I feel so hurt and so stupid. I guess it's telling that I was getting ready to run away on our anniversary last year, too. I left last night with my baby. He was wonderful for the rest of my pregnancy. Wonderful with our son. I have so many photos of them together that now hurt to look at. The last 2 weeks have been horrendous. I actually thought his cruelty was caused by alcohol. It's not. He's been sober for about 9 months. Having a baby was extremely motivating to stay on the straight and narrow, but time passed, he got stressed, and he got so unkind. He was yelling and screaming at me all day yesterday in front of our baby. I've never felt so defeated. He bought alcohol for the first time in the evening, and I only figured it out about an hour after he got home and screamed some more. I recorded it all, and I finally tore the Band-Aid off and sent one of the videos to a friend who convinced me to leave. Last time he bent my hand back and hurt me. I was pregnant. This time I didn't stick around long enough for him to touch me. I feel so bad for taking my baby away from his father. He loves his baby. The whole thing was humiliating. I was in a hotel lobby crying with a screaming baby going through all my bags looking for my credit card. My phone was blowing up and I was trying not to look. Then we get to our room and baby is inconsolable for about 20 minutes. I'm crying. I'm FaceTiming a friend who's also crying. Now this morning I can hear all the noises in the hotel, and I know how thin the walls are, and I'm just so mortified. I know it's for the best, but it feels so bad. I'm so scared he's going to hurt himself. This is all his fault, and he ruined everything with his actions. But I feel like I'm the one who ripped our family apart and I can't ever go back. Concerned about things my husband said last night. In January, my husband repeatedly raped me over the course of a month. I have had a very hard time dealing with this, having panic attacks almost daily, and dissociating so much I have been losing time. He has since been acting like nothing happened. I ended up leaving for 9 days because my anxiety was so bad, I felt I was on the verge of a nervous breakdown. I ended up going back 3 days ago after he called, acknowledged what he did, and said he wants to work on the marriage. I also felt very guilty about his emotional state. When I came back, we had a long discussion in which I asked him why he would do something that he knew he could go back to prison for if I reported him. He told me if I called the police, he would just kill himself. I told him that I am afraid of him, and that I am 99% sure he would never kill me. But there is still 1%. I asked if he knew what it felt like to not be 100% sure your partner would kill you. He said, "Actually, yes. I've always been afraid might try to kill me if I left you." I immediately broke down in tears because I could never hurt him and have given him no reason to think I would. He also told me he has been paranoid for months. I might use one of his combat knives to kill him in his sleep. This seemed like a really bizarre thing to say, because again, I am not a violent person at all. Now I'm wondering if maybe he is setting up some kind of defense. It was such a violent image, and he does have a combat knife in our bedroom. Am I right to be concerned about this? Couples therapy is enraging me. Me and my boyfriend of 4 years recently decided to go to therapy because I was at wit's ends. To give some context, all was well the first year. until the nitpicking started rolling in and he stopped always speaking gently towards me. It was like he lost patience and would snap, blame me, get easily annoyed with me, push me away. His mood would flip-flop, and it has definitely pushed me away. My last straw was me pulling out my phone to record an argument we were having where he was yelling over me, and I could not speak for 15 minutes straight. I disclosed to him that I was doing this so we could reflect on it later, and his tone completely calmed down. He started talking like a scholar with perfect grammar. I think he forgot the tape was still rolling because he got heated again, and my phone caught his eye, and he demanded I delete that and ran after my phone. A power struggle ensued, and I got elbowed in the eye while prying my phone out of his hands. That is the only time it has gotten physical, but neither one was trying to intentionally harm the other. Therapy has not been great. We both disclosed going in that we were there because my boyfriend has an attitude problem, hurts my feelings, and loses his temper. He acknowledged this, said he wants to change, and has bad habits, baggage. Therapy so far has been solely focused on convincing me to learn to let go, when nothing has changed that would make me feel it is safe to do so. Anytime I try to speak about something from the past that still bothers me, I get redirected or told that I'm holding on to the past, and my therapist ends up making excuses for my BF. When I told her how he had drank and drove recklessly in the car while fighting, it was, "We all have done things we aren't proud of. We are only human." When my boyfriend called me fat during an argument, it was, "We all say things we don't mean. You do too. But I never insult someone with the attempt to tear them down." So no, I cannot relate. All therapy is teaching me how to communicate how I'm feeling. I know how to do that. I'm well versed in therapy and communication. The onus is being put on me during every therapy session, and it's really starting to tick me off. I cannot let these things go when they continue to happen weekly, and that is something my therapist doesn't seem to want to even begin touching. What's worse is I've been starting to get emotional and probably visibly frustrated shut down in therapy. Meanwhile, my boyfriend has a completely level head and cracks jokes with the therapist. No one would suspect he could be a jerk, and I feel like I'm looking like the problem. Example: I was telling a story and my boyfriend kept interjecting and correcting me and bulldozing what I was saying. This is something I have brought up as a frustration. Our therapist did not redirect him or point out that I needed to continue talking. I finally said, "I guess I won't speak," and threw my hands up. My therapist said, "We should take a defeatist approach. Maybe he has something important to say." And it took everything in me not to get up and walk out. He dominates the therapy session, and half of it is him humble bragging, admitting he's not perfect, and our therapist giving him reassurance. I think this has solidified that I want nothing to do with yet, and yet I'm starting to question my sanity or if I'm the issue. Is it abusive enough to justify leaving without warning? I've been dating my partner for 5 years. We live together. As a general rule, not much happens day to day. He works from home, then plays video games afterwards, so is on his computer for about 12 hours a day, if not more. The only times he isn't is when we eat dinner together sometimes, or when we go shopping. I usually just watch TV in another room. We don't play video games together as he berates me if I don't play well enough. He has social anxiety, so doesn't leave the house except to go food shopping with me. In the past 2 years, he has left the house by himself 3 times at most to go to the dentist, doctor. This means that any time we do want to go out, it has to be planned in advance. Even something as simple as feeding the ducks. He will berate me if, say, we go to the gym and I don't check it's empty enough for him, or if I don't walk him home after an event, 3-minute walk. All life admin, nipping to the local shop, putting the bins out, answering the door, any speaking on the phone must all be done by me. I registered him at the doctor's dentist and have to make appointments for him. Our sex life is dead. He often berates me over it, which has led to me initiating sex I don't want simply to keep him happy. He will routinely ask for BJs, and during them, he watches porn. We do not talk or whatever. I just get the job done even if I am exhausted. It's easier than the berating. Then there is the punishments. When we first started dating, I was in a horrible place. I had lost my boyfriend, my job, and my flat in a short space of time. I was lazy, and my flat was a mess. I struggled with recognizing when chores needed to be done. In the beginning, he would tell me to do them. Then, over the years, even when I feel I have got better at chores, he will punish me if he feels they aren't done. I just finished a punishment of doing the chores for a month as we ran out of milk. It was my duty to remember to get some, and I didn't. Other punishments have included not allowing me to see my newly adopted pet, including the day I brought them home, spending all my free time playing and completing a very hard video game, threatening to leave when my family visits. For assorted reasons such as not having sex, not planning ahead, not communicating properly, such as not giving context when talking about a specific bird, not listening. I put a herb on a dish that he didn't ask for. Recently, I have just given in. I just do as he wants. I don't feel like a human being and have considered ending my life. However, I have also got a new place to live. I want to move out, and my family wants me to as well, but I am afraid to confront him. All that will happen is hours upon hours of berating. I am considering being a coward and leaving in the night. I feel guilty and like a monster for blindsiding and abandoning him, though. Is this bad enough to justify my actions? I haven't communicated how unhappy I am. It wouldn't make a difference. I don't love him nor want to date him. Why is it so hard to break up with my girlfriend even though she treats me like shitty? I've been with my girlfriend for almost 3 years now, and we live together far away from my hometown. Over time, I've started to realize that she has many narcissistic traits: love bombing, manipulation, controlling behavior. I'm about 90% sure she's a narcissist. She's been physically, emotionally, and mentally abusive towards me. It's not just me. She's also abusive towards her friends and family. Honestly, the only thing I want right now is to get out of this relationship, but I feel incredibly guilty about it. I know that if we break up, she will take it out on her family, and they definitely don't deserve the way she treats them. At the same time, I know I need to do what's best for me, but I just don't have the courage to start the breakup conversation because I honestly don't know how she will react. She has been abusive in the past and has even threatened me, saying she would kill me if I left. I've told my parents a bit about what's going on, and I'm planning to move back in with them once I finally find the strength to end this relationship. I'm so tired of doing all the chores, being yelled at, and constantly walking on eggshells. Feeling like my youth was stolen from me because trauma has made me asexual. Can anybody relate? I'm still so young, mid-20s. I have a great body and I get compliments all the time. I now have a partner I love and am super attracted to, but I struggle so much with PTSD and body image trauma that I feel my sexual self has died. I can't think about sex without survival anxiety. I'm surrounded by so many sex-positive young people, and it feels so disempowering to be such a prude. I was in an abusive relationship in my late teens, my first man ever. I was running away from abusive parents and became codependent on a guy who would put me down about my looks, threaten to cheat if I didn't give him 24/7 attention, make me have sex I didn't want. He sexted other people when I was too depressed to talk or come over. The whole time I thought I was the bad one for not being enough. I was breaking myself to please him. Now I feel resentful when I do anything man-pleasing. I can't put lingerie on, make myself look good, talk about sex with my partner without remembering the times when it felt like life or death, whether I'm sexy to my partner or not. The sex I have with my current partner is completely brainless. I can't even look him in the eyes, or touch him, or do anything intentional. Everything I do is a reaction to sex that is already happening, if you get what I mean. I'm extremely anti-seductive because talking about sex makes me very defensive. Topics like what I like in bed, etc. make me recoil. He's understanding and doesn't push me further because he's seen what happens when he does meltdown dissociation. I'm just pissed that this is my sex life now. I freeze up and don't speak when sex in my history is explored in therapy. I don't even know if I want sex back because every move to reclaim it hurts me so deeply. He finally moved out. I hope I can do this. I've been telling him we have to break up and he has to move out. It's been so up and down the past few days. We'll have a good time and then he'll get mad that I'm wanting to move on. Last night that happened, and he left for a little, then came back and was on the couch. He wanted me to invite him to sleep in my bed, and usually I would be weak and do that, but I finally didn't last night. This morning we woke up and I said good morning and he didn't talk, but started packing up his things and used my car to move them to his mom's. He brought a cat with him when he came to live with me. He told me I could keep the cat, but it was just manipulation. He told me he's taking Benji, and he came back, and for like an hour, Benji hid under the bed while he tried to take him. And he was so angry going to hit me, but then didn't. But he slammed other stuff. I was telling him Benji's scared, and you said I could keep him. Benji got stressed and peed in my room. He finally said, "Okay, you win, you can keep Benji." He then sat on my couch for a while, saying he was washing the last bit of his clothes before he left, which was stressful because I have to leave my house soon and he would have had to stay here alone. Turns out no clothes were even being washed. I finally got him to leave, and he went on this speech about how I never loved him, and my emails saying goodbye thoughtfully were fake, and how I don't care, and how I'm only able to move on because there's a guy at work who likes me and I'm going to spread my legs for him because I'm a whore. And that's what I do. He said he had happy times and he loved me, but I'm blocked on everything and I'm dead to him. It was so manipulative. I know he spent all that time just trying to sense if I would give in like times before. He was wasting time to see if I would cave. A part of me at some points was so sad and wanted to cave, but I didn't. IDK if he was telling the truth about leaving me alone. Never hearing from again scares me, but hearing from him again also scares me. I'm finally reaching out to friends and family about it, which is really scary. If you like the stories, subscribe and click the bell to get notifications. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.